This is for those of you who have walked away, who have seen past the illusion. Your absence doesn't just bother them, it destroys them. What your silence shows about them. Why do narcissists fall apart when you break away? And how your absence triggers their wounds. Distance is the mirror that they can't run from. Want to know more? Watch this video. Hello, my friends. I hope that you're all doing really well. So in this video today, I really wanted to talk about how your silence, and I know it's not easy to be quiet, to withdraw, to not communicate or not want to know what this person is doing. This is someone who you have had in your life for probably quite some time. You've got to know them intimately. And I know that it's very challenging to do that because, it's almost like you've built your whole life around them, or you got to know them, you got used to having them around you, or even you got used to, even them, if not, you didn't have them around you, the messages or the communication, whatever it is. You had this person in your life for quite some time. And it's not easy to go silent, to stay away, to not want to know what they are doing. But every time that you do look, it hurts you because you see things that maybe you don't want to, or maybe it triggers you in some way, but wanting to know also triggers you as well. All you have to understand is this is going to be particularly hard for the narcissist as well. Remember, they are never going to tell you, they're never going to expose that, you're never going to know this. But narcissists rely on close proximity, having access to you. Also talking energetically as well. They also rely on emotional reaction. So when you retract, when you move away from this person, okay, this is going to cause them, all right, to think two things. First of all, they're going to hate it. They're going to blame you. They're going to put the blame on you because why have you left? Why have you gone? There must be something wrong with you. But you removed yourself because you've had enough. You're seeing through this, okay, and you realize that you don't want to be treated like this anymore. So what this does do for them is they then think, hold on a minute, this person probably is seeing through what I have done. It is exposure. And that's number one thing that narcissists cannot and will not tolerate is being exposed or being open. They don't like this. None of us do, but for them, it's even worse. It also validates that there is issues with them. So this is why smear campaigns start soon after. They also like the control. They love having the control over you emotionally because then they can get their needs met. They know that if they have control over you emotionally, that you validate them. You still give them what it is that they want. But when you've gone, that can't happen. So leaves a big gap, a big void for them. And also, it's the image, isn't it? It's the image. You've got to remember that by you being in their life, you gave them confidence, which enabled them to be the person that they are. So basically, you fed them your energy, you boosted their self-worth, their confidence, and this is why they have done what they have done. They loved that. You were their supply. That's ultimately what supply means. That's the pop psychology term for it. But supply is all about giving them the confidence. They know that you were sitting pretty at home and you weren't going out, you weren't doing any of that stuff, you weren't messing around, but they were. So that gives a sense of power over you. So let's talk about the exposure. Narcissists always pretend that they are independent, that they're unbothered, that nothing really is wrong with them. Life is good. They never show the reality. They are good, that they are having a good time until you're gone. They relied on your emotional labor, your reassurance, your patience, your compassion, your validity. All of those things, please do not underestimate them, my friend, because this is something that let me break this down. When someone, really relies on having attention, validation from another person, they rely on this outwardly because they can't create that themselves. They will do anything they can, to make sure that that need is met. So when you've got someone like you supplying them, giving them all of those things, And suddenly it's gone. This is going to be a big void in their life. They're not going to like this. This was a very important thing for them. And it was a steady supply. So it's not like they had to work hard for it. It was there on a plate for them. And this is usually where they go and seek immediate supply. Doesn't have to be a good one, doesn't have to be, they just need a replacement. They need to replace you. They need to replace those qualities about you. I had a client very similar to this just reminded me. And he came to me and he was like, I can't deal with this. Like, I can't understand. Like, and then he said, yeah, no, I'm good without her. And then he's like, come back in again and gone, no, I really can't. And he was saying to me, like, am I going to hear from her? What's her next move? What's she going to do? What's she going to do? What's going to happen? Anyway, as time went on, we worked together. I said that you will hear back from this person. They're going to try and drag you back into the drama because this is a predictable pattern of behavior, that what she always does to you. And sure enough, she started creating mind games to try and pull him back in. So it wasn't a positive experience, it was more of a negative one. But what she did do was pull him back in, and he did go back, and we worked on that, and it was that cycle again. And she did leave again. So this was all about the avoidance of emotion, of responsibility, of vulnerability. And we then kind of later on worked on kind of moving forward from that, seeing the pattern for what it is, identifying it, and getting that client to get his own self-worth back. But this is a pattern that I see quite a lot in my client work, where, you know, they go, or you leave because you've had enough, and then there's deep regret, and then they're contacting you again. For whatever reason, they're contacting you again because they want to know that you still care. You going or you keeping silent reveals their lack of emotional maturity. Like, I mean, okay, this is what I mean by this point. Why are you playing mind games? Why is it that you can't just outwardly say, I miss you, I want you back, let's try and work on this? But instead they play mind games, they twist things, they say that you're the issue, they get defensive, they blame you. Why do that? Why set things off on a negative? The reason why they do this is because you see, I think I explained this in another video. Sorry, it's just what they do is they externalize the blame. These are huge defense mechanisms that are at play here. It's the ego that it's at play. And the ego will not allow the narcissist to back down, to feel less than, to be emotionally vulnerable and honest. They're not going to be honest because the ego is the defense. And they've built this huge defense mechanism or this huge defense system, okay, so that they do not appear vulnerable. For them, vulnerability, showing emotion, okay, for them showing vulnerability and emotion, for them, it's very uncomfortable. And the reason why they've done that is because of trauma in the past, and this is their self-protection. Your absence will expose something that they can't handle, the discomfort, the abandonment. This is a real huge trigger for the narcissist. So if that is the case, these are the signs, okay, that you will know that you have got to the narcissist. You're going to have rage texts, you're going to have nasty texts, silent treatment, and then that will turn into guilt tripping, smear campaigns, and mood swings to go along with it into the mix. So all of those things you will probably experience. So this is an indicator, okay, that the narcissist is not coping. It also, point 3, it exposes the need for control, not connection. Why does someone need to control you? Why does someone need to blame you and you admit fault and then everything's okay? Why does that need to happen? Because that's what they're angling for. They can't predict you anymore because that's all about control. So they can predict your next move. That's all about controlling the narrative. They can't influence your emotions. Remember, they're always dictating, always trying to influence your emotions so that you meet their needs. They can't do that anymore, and they can't monitor your life. So your absence will expose all of that. They know that you know. Oh boy, they know that you know. And this for them is embarrassing, and this is why they retreat into their shell. They're not concerned about loving you. They want to control you. People who truly care about you, okay, this is what you got to remember. People who truly care about you don't just crumble, okay, and become defensive and nasty and try to prove that they are right and that you are wrong. This isn't about that. People who really genuinely care about you will want to work this out, regardless if it's nasty, regardless if there's things that you say that you need to get off your chest. But again, you are going to be able to talk about it. People like that, like the narcissist, like emotionally avoidant, they're going to crumble, they're going to get annoyed, they're going to get angry because they are being exposed, because of their emotional immaturity. And also your absence, the last point I want to make, it will show them up. It will show the world who they really are. So if they have launched a smear campaign, if they've been nasty to you and other people have seen it, like their temper, their lies, their narrative, okay, you were the buffer for that. That was kept under wraps. But now that you have gone, all of that's going to explode into the real world and everyone's going to see who they are. It exposes who they really are, that they can't handle their life. They can't handle themselves emotionally. And all of that will come up to the surface and people are going to see that. Think about it. If they're launching this smear campaign, okay, and they're telling other people about you, how nasty you are, think about it. What is the other, if the people that they're telling are emotionally intelligent, think about what they are going to be thinking. Why is this person talking bad about their ex? That takes two in a relationship, right? Why is that person saying nasty things about them? What will they be saying about me? So that really is exposing them. So you see, without you, they can't even handle the facade. So what you have to understand is that your absence is not the punishment. This is your growth. It's a revelation. And in that silence, everything becomes crystal clear, not just for you, but for everybody else and the narcissist. So this is your strength, okay? This is your strength. So you have to look at this in a completely different way. My friends, if this is something that you are interested in working on or you want to go deeper into the journey, please know that I do offer one-to-one consultations. Please see the description box below. And also, I do have the mentorship and a journal club, which would also help you to kind of work through these feelings. Again, please see the description box for more details. If this video has resonated with you, please do press the like button. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel because I'd love to have you here. Guys, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.